Welcome to LatinHeat's one-on-one interview with director Juan Avella. On the eve of his television directorial debut, we talked to him about directing the NBC fan-favorite TV drama, The Blacklist, which stars James Spader and Megan Boone, among other amazing actors. So let's get started. So Juan, you are about to make your directorial debut on television on a big, major show. Major.
An amazing show, one that I've been a fan of all these years. So it was just, what can I say? A dream come true.
Yes, and we do want to clarify that this was part of the NBC Directing Fellowship Program.
Correct. It's called the NBC Emerging Director Program, which is an annual initiative that basically helps ethnically diverse male and non-binary directors, and basically it's a pipeline that aims to increase diversity in the director's chair. And they also have a sister program called Female Forward, that basically helps female directors. And this is the 11th year, and in the 3 years ago they actually implemented a big change, which is they give you an episode to direct, which is huge. There's a lot of diversity programs out there that help, but this is pretty much one of the only ones, if not the only one, that gives you an episode. And that's just huge because the channel, the network, NBC, Lisa Katz, the president, they really give you that opportunity and believe in you.
How long did you go through the program? What is the length?
Yeah, so the program itself, it started around July. I mean, this was an odd year because, of course, the pandemic.
Last year started.
Yes, last year. Sorry, I just kept mixing it. Yeah, so the pandemic last year, 2020, July 2020, we had a lot of Zoom meetings with directors and assistant directors from the industry, just trying to learn a lot of the ins and outs of the television industry. And the program basically ended for me. I think it ends tomorrow at 8 p.m. when the episode airs. And it basically gives you a lot of seminars where you learn a lot about the TV industry. And then you have two episodes that you shadowed. I shadowed two directors in two separate episodes. And then you get to direct your own episode. And, finally it airs tomorrow at 8.
So tell me about how it felt that you were going to direct all these amazing actors in this TV show that has such a big following.
I traveled to New York and I shadowed, because I'm based in LA, originally from Caracas, Venezuela, and I traveled to New York, and there is where the Blacklist shoots. And I followed two episodes back to back. Episode 805 and 807, I shadowed the directors. So basically that means that you're following them on day-to-day of all activities from pre-production, production, and then post. And you're getting to see, by being next to that director, how the sausage gets made, basically. And in that process, I got to meet everyone involved in both the production, from the cast and the crew, which, to be honest, was also very helpful. Once shooting my episode, I've already broken the ice with most of the crew, and that really makes a big difference because, they already know you. You're that kid, and now you have this job, and that's great. So they're all there to support you, and it's a great environment.
So you said the kid. They say, "Oh, there's that kid." So how did the kid feel on his first day of directing the episode?
I'm an extremely hard worker. I'm very aware of the opportunity that I was given. So I had, the most fun. I went in every day at work. It's hard to assimilate. You're like, oh my God, you're directing an episode. Everyone's there working, and when it's time to yell action, everyone looks at you. Everyone waits for you to yell action. So it was great because the cast was also all the way from James to Megan, Amir, Diego, Laura. All of them were great. Harry and Hisham, and they wanted all to collaborate and say if I had a little note or a little suggestion, because they're all great, they already know what they're doing, but if I had a suggestion of maybe a different thing that we can do, they would be open to it. They would try it. Everyone was very respectful and very supportive. It's just as we're here talking because breaking into film and the television industry is hard. And as a Latino, as a Latinx, it's even harder because sometimes you're only viewed as the Latino director for a Latino production. And truth is that we are human beings who connect to any reality of life. We can direct anything, because I mean, every human being, be Latino or not, you can connect to human situations and dramas. That's basically what television or films are. So being given this opportunity and being respected and just viewed as another director, that really made me feel great. It really gives you the confidence, and you already have the skills. It's just being given the opportunity, and it's a very slim chance, and I'm very grateful that I got it. NBC has been great, and the NBC Emerging Director Program, extremely supportive, and hopefully this is the one of many.
You get to do what you've always dreamed of doing, which brings me to the question of, like, when did you decide that directing was what you wanted to do?
Wow, that's a that's a long ways back, but so as I mentioned, I'm originally from Caracas, Venezuela, and I've been in the States 10 years. I relocated to go attend the AFI screenwriting program. That's where I got my MFA. But my journey started, I would say, when I was like around 12 years old, 13 years old. I was watching The Matrix, visiting my brother in New Jersey. He lived in New Jersey at the time, and he took us to the movies to watch this new movie called The Matrix. And I was just blown away of such a big, different world. And, every twist and plot twist just kept, impressing me and shocking me. And I just couldn't believe that something like that could happen, or could exist, or you could create something like that. And my family was always very much into films, but I think ever since that day, I was just like, I have to be in this world somehow. I thought at the first I wanted to be a producer, because I thought producers were the ones who actually took care of the story and the directing, because it was just such a foreign world to me. But as I continue to grow and learn more, I knew that's what I wanted. But in Venezuela, sadly, there are not many film programs. So I had to study business, banking, and finances for undergrad before I could actually make the move to the States and study film. So when I got to the States at 25 and I was studying at AFI and everyone was just talking about film all day, I was like, oh my God, this is my people. I get to talk about TV and film all day and no one thinks I'm a weirdo. So I would say my journey started around 12 years
Well, it
old.
seems like the stars are aligning themselves,
Yeah.
to your where your career is going to take you. But you've been at it for a long time. You, like you said, you went to AFI and you did 2 short films there. Is that correct? Or one? How many did
So at AFI, I actually studied screenwriting, because in my mind, before I could become, a director, I needed to understand story, how to write it, how to really dissect a script. So in my mind, much like Coppola, I was like, okay, I got to go study screenwriting. After I graduated, ever since, I've been developing that career as a writer-director, as an auteur in a way. And so I wrote and directed 2 short films. One's called Hijo por Hijo, which I recently adapted into a feature length, and I will be hopefully directing later this year or next for Epic Pictures. So that's in the pipeline.
Oh
But
my gosh, you're
yeah,
going to be big time, big time.
yeah, and it's a bilingual film, and we're currently seeing if we're going to start casting or not. But and my second short's called Her Body, which I did thanks to Nalip. I don't know if you've heard of
Yes,
them.
of course, Nalip. Yes,
Yeah,
very,
so
very
Nalip,
wonderful organization.
yes, Nalip has been a big supporter of me, and to be honest, it was, that they've been a big supporter, and they gave me a grant to do my second short. So both Her Body and Hijo por Hijo, the cool thing about them is that I was able to, HBO picked them up after their successful festival run, and both of them aired for 2 years on HBO. The latter one, Her Body, is currently streaming until May 22 on HBO Max. So it's been a good 12 years for me to get here tomorrow to having my first um, directing debut. And to be honest, it's been work every day, a lot of hustle, and again, being grateful all the time for the opportunities that you're given, but always making sure to wake up early and work. You really are putting work every day, even on weekends. And people might think it happened from one day to the next, but to be honest, I can track my journey from the moment I am today and tomorrow at 8 p.m. on NBC to 12 years ago. I really can.
And what about your family? Are they're going to be
Right.
watching?
So I just had a baby. 3 months ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. A sweet baby girl named Victoria Renee, and she was actually born 2 days after I finished shadowing my second episode. And I know that everyone at the NBC Emerging Director Program, even Lisa Katz, the president of Scripted, she was a bit nervous that maybe I was gonna have to leave a few days before she finished shadowing or something. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but my wife and I were like,
your baby gave you some time to take care of
yeah,
that and give her your full attention afterwards.
she knew and she waited. And so anyway, long story short, my parents are here right now visiting the baby. Finally, they're meeting it because they couldn't travel before because of COVID. So it just so happened that my parents are here, who have always been big supporters. And tomorrow we're all going to watch it at home with the family. So it's going to be great. It's going to be
I am so happy for you. Everything's like going right on track. The baby, the family, the film, the career, and congratulations. We look forward to seeing the episode on the 30th, April 30th, on NBC. And tell us, what can we expect when we see this episode?
An exciting thing is that after I deliver my director's cut, the showrunners and the executives at NBC basically were happy, which is always a great feeling. I felt like I really did deliver. And one of the executive at NBC said something that was totally true. This episode has spicecraft, it has action, it has suspense, it has a fun heist, and it has even funny moments. So this episode is really a fun one. It has a lot of everything, and fans of the Blacklist will really enjoy it. And I'm very happy that I got to direct this episode. I feel like I got really lucky.
And remember, everyone, you're going to be watching a star in the making here. And NBC was wonderful enough to launch that career. So thank you so much for coming and speaking with us. And please come back when you have your film and you're promoting your film. We'd love to hear all about it and follow your career.
Thank you, and thank you to LatinHeat for creating a space for us Latinos and promoting our work. We definitely need to stick together if we want to rise up. So that's the idea, and I really appreciate you taking the time.
Of course, our pleasure.